Flames tear across the sky as I pull you into the final moments of Concorde, the jet that promised speed, luxury, and prestige. You crave the thrill of supersonic flight, but what waits is silence after chaos. On July 25th, 2000, the Air France Flight 4590, a charter flight bound for New York City's John F. Kennedy Airport, is scheduled to carry mostly German tourists heading to board a cruise ship. The aircraft is the Concorde, tail number FBTSC, with 100 passengers and 9 crew members on board. It is a bright summer afternoon at Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport, a place where departures are usually routine, but today it will be remembered for catastrophe. The Concorde is unlike any other passenger plane, slender, needle-nosed, with the ability to cruise at twice the speed of sound. For over 2 decades, it has symbolized wealth and technological pride. Only a small fraction of people on Earth have ever flown on one. The passengers boarding Flight 4590 know they are about to experience something exclusive, a flight time across the Atlantic cut nearly in half. Captain Christian Marty, an experienced aviator with over 13,000 flight hours, leads the cockpit. With him are First Officer Jean Marceau and Flight Engineer Gilles Jardinot. Their professionalism, honed by years in aviation, sets a calm tone on the flight deck. In the cabin, flight attendants smile as they welcome passengers, including 65 German tourists traveling with Peter Dielman Cruises. Conversations are light, some passengers remarking on the unique triangular windows and the thrill of breaking the sound barrier. But as luggage is stowed and engines power up for takeoff, hidden risks lie dormant beneath the polished surface of this technological marvel. No one yet knows that on the runway itself, a small piece of metal from another aircraft has fallen, waiting like a trigger. In minutes, it will ignite a chain of events no one on board can escape. The Concorde taxis toward runway 26R, its 4 Rolls-Royce/Snecma Olympus 593 turbojet engines humming with a deep, commanding growl. Inside the cockpit, Captain Marty advances the throttles, unleashing a roar that vibrates through the fuselage. Passengers feel the push against their seats as the sleek jet begins its acceleration, nose slightly dipped for maximum thrust. To them, it feels powerful, unshakable, but hidden in plain sight, danger waits. A Continental Airlines DC-10 had taken off just minutes earlier, unknowingly shedding a titanium strip onto the runway. As Flight 4590 races forward at nearly 200 kilometers per hour, the front left tire of the Concorde's number 2 wheel strikes the metal. The sound is violent. A thunderous bang reverberates through the airframe. The tire explodes into shrapnel. In an instant, rubber debris pierces the underside of the wing. One jagged chunk slams into fuel tank 5, located beneath the left wing. Superheated fuel sprays out under tremendous pressure. Flames ignite almost immediately, triggered by the searing exhaust of the Olympus engines. A bright orange tongue of fire erupts, trailing from the wing as the Concorde continues its takeoff roll. The cockpit is filled with warnings. Engine number 2 surges, instruments spike, and alarms scream in unison. Captain Marty's instincts sharpen. He knows aborting now at such high speed is impossible. They are already beyond V1, the point of no return. The Concorde must lift off even while on fire. On the ground, air traffic controllers watch in disbelief. A streak of flame follows the plane, thick black smoke rolling across the sky as the jet struggles upward. Witnesses on the ground, including hotel workers in Gonesse, gaze upward in horror at the burning streak clawing its way off the runway. To them, it's as if a comet has been launched, but one doomed to fall back to Earth far too soon. Inside the cabin, passengers feel the jolt of the tire burst, but have no clear view of the fire raging outside. A faint vibration runs through the floor. Some glance nervously at the windows, noticing smoke streaming past, while others remain unaware, believing the noise and shake are simply part of the Concorde's famously thunderous takeoff. Excitement quickly dulls into confusion. In the cockpit, the crew confronts chaos. Warning lights flash, alarms shriek, and the voices of seasoned professionals cut through the din.
"Engine 2 fire!"
The flight engineer calls out, his tone taut but controlled. Captain Marty grips the controls.
"Shut it down. Engine 1's losing power too."
First Officer Marco transmits to the tower.
"Le Bourget, returning immediately."
His voice is urgent but clipped, betraying the rising tension. Air traffic control responds.
"Concorde 4590, you have flames behind you."
The words hang heavy. There is no doubt. The fire is visible to everyone on the ground. The flight attendants move quickly through the cabin. Training takes over. Faces calm but eyes wide. They reassure passengers even as fear tightens around them. The Germans headed for their dream cruise whisper among themselves. Some clutch their armrests. Others look toward the rear windows where dark smoke curls ominously. Captain Marty attempts to stabilize the climb. The Concorde struggles to gain altitude, its left wing ablaze, engines surging unpredictably. Speed decays faster than expected. The crew attempts procedures drilled into them countless times, but the aircraft is heavy with fuel, barely airborne and bleeding power. The fire continues to eat into the wing. Over the radio, strained exchanges continue.
"Engine shutdown completed, still losing thrust. You're trailing flames. Severe fire."
Those final words echo not just in the cockpit, but across every ear tuned to the frequency. They are words that offer no solution, only a grim confirmation that the situation is spiraling beyond control. The Concorde claws upward with desperate effort, engines roaring unevenly, its nose lifting against a tide of resistance. The fire beneath the left wing grows hotter, spreading with each passing second. Fuel gushes from the ruptured tank, feeding the inferno. To onlookers, the jet appears wounded, struggling to escape an invisible grip pulling it back to Earth. In the cockpit, Captain Marty fights to maintain altitude.
"We're losing speed. 2 engines out."
The engineer warns, his voice cracking. The Concorde was designed to fly on 3, even 2, but now flames threaten structural integrity. The control column shudders in Marty's hands. He pushes, pulls, adjusting trim, but the aircraft responds sluggishly. Outside, residents of Gonesse stare upward in horror. They see the supersonic jet trailing fire across the sky like a torch. Some run for cover, others freeze, watching history unravel in real time. Air traffic control calls again.
"You have strong flames behind you."
But the crew knows. The smell of smoke reaches the flight deck. Gauges fall toward 0. Seconds later, engine number 1 fails completely. The asymmetric thrust causes the plane to roll left, nose dipping. Captain Marty counters with full right rudder and stick, but the damage is overwhelming. The jet, heavy with fuel, never climbed higher than 200 feet. It begins to bank, nose yawing toward the ground. The last recorded moments are a blur of chaos. Passengers cry out as the cabin tilts violently. Flight attendants brace themselves, strapping in. In the cockpit, Marty's final words.
"Too late. No power."
The Concorde descends, not with the graceful arc it was famed for, but with the weight of inevitability. At 4:34 p.m., less than 2 minutes after takeoff, Air France Flight 4590 slams into Hotelissimo Les Relais Bleus in Gonesse. The impact detonates fuel tanks, sending a wall of fire skyward. 113 lives, every soul on board and 4 on the ground, are extinguished in an instant. Smoke lingers over Gonesse like a dark veil. Firefighters rush to the scene, but the inferno leaves nothing to save. The crash site is a twisted ruin of metal and charred concrete, flames consuming what moments earlier had been the pride of French aviation. For families waiting in New York, news filters slowly, each report sharpening into the unbearable truth. No survivors. The investigation begins almost immediately. French authorities comb the runway at Charles de Gaulle and find the culprit, a titanium wear strip from a Continental DC-10 that had departed minutes earlier. The strip, far harder than aluminum, sliced into the Concorde's tire, launching debris into the wing and rupturing the fuel tank. What seems like an unlucky accident reveals deeper concerns about Concorde's vulnerability. Investigators confirm the aircraft had no Kevlar lining to protect its fuel tanks from such impacts, and that its tires, while strong, could not withstand the violent strike. The findings reverberate worldwide. The Concorde fleet, already iconic but aging, is grounded for over a year. Engineers rush to fit reinforcements, new tires, and stronger tank linings. Yet public trust has been fractured. The crash is not just France's tragedy, it marks the decline of supersonic passenger travel. Concorde returns briefly to service in 2001, but rising costs, dwindling demand, and the shadow of Flight 4590's destruction seal its fate. By 2003, the supersonic dream ends. For the people of Gonesse, the memory endures more vividly. A memorial stands near the site, etched with the names of all 113 victims. Flowers and plaques honor the German tourists who never boarded their cruise, the crew who fought until the last second, and the civilians who perished in the hotel. The Concorde, once a shining arrow of speed, became instead a sobering reminder. In aviation, even marvels of engineering can be undone by a shard of metal on the ground. Progress always carries risk, and sometimes a single overlooked detail can write the end of an era. 20 years later, the echo of Flight 4590 still whispers, a story of ambition and fragility, of dreams cut short in fire. And if what you just saw shocked you, then you have to watch this other video where we'll uncover the truth behind the Tenerife nightmare. Click here now. See you there.